Here's today's In Touch devotion.
Today's scripture reading begins in verse 40 of Luke chapter 2. Speaking of Jesus, now the child continued to grow and to become strong, increasing in wisdom, and the favor of God was upon him. His parents went to Jerusalem every year at the feast of the Passover. And when he was 12 years old, they went up there according to the custom of the feast. And as they were returning, after spending the full number of days required, the boy, Jesus, stayed behind in Jerusalem. But his parents were unaware of it. Instead, they thought that he was somewhere in the caravan, and they went a day's journey. And then they began looking for him among their relatives and acquaintances. And when they did not find him, they returned to Jerusalem, looking for him. Then, after 3 days, they found him in the temple, sitting in the midst of the teachers, both listening to them and asking them questions. And all who heard him were amazed at his understanding and his answers. When Joseph and Mary saw him, they were bewildered, and his mother said to him, "Son, why have you treated us this way? Behold, your father and I have been anxiously looking for you." And he said to them, "Why is it that you are looking for me? Did you not know that I had to be in my Father's house?" And yet they, on their part, did not understand the statement which he had made to them. And he went down with them and came to Nazareth, and he continued to be subject to them. And his mother treasured all these things in her heart. And Jesus kept increasing in wisdom and stature and in favor with God and people.
It's a growing trend among businesses and organizations to compose a mission statement in order to keep focused on what matters most. But the idea isn't new. We can see that Jesus had a clear focus on the mission his Father gave him. At the age of 12, he was able to identify his purpose by telling his parents that he had to be in his Father's house. Do you have a clear understanding of what God's mission is for you? The Great Commission's global mandate is so vast that those of us who are believers sometimes lose sight of how to implement it locally. But people are saved one at a time, whether at home or abroad, and God uses ordinary Christians as His messengers of the gospel. We shouldn't neglect the opportunities God provides in our own neighborhoods and workplaces. A stanza from Ina D. Ogden's old hymn, "Brighten the Corner Where You Are," reminds us of this truth. Do not wait until some deed of greatness you may do. Do not wait to shed your light afar. To the many duties ever near you, now be true. Brighten the corner where you are.